Hello, Cherries fans, and welcome to a live Back in the Net show. My name's Sam Davis.
My name's Tom Jordan.
This is weird, isn't it, mate?
Yeah,
we haven't done this in a long time.
No, we haven't. No, probably. No, I can't think of the last time we were live down there. But yeah, it's quieter down there than you'd expect with what's been going on.
It's definitely quiet, and look, there are 68 people joining us right this second. So thanks very much if you are joining us. If you can hear us loud and clear and can see us loud and clear, just give us a thumbs up in the comments, because we will be monitoring them. We are Back in the Net. We are Tin Pot, and we're
cold as well.
We're cold. We've got lights, but what we have got: Red Bull, no advertising intended, and also a bottle of water as well. But yeah, we're live outside Deancourt. Look, if you're about and you want to get involved, just pop on down. We'll get you on the stream. But Tom, we chatted earlier on to Mark McAdam, also to Jack Tanner. They both insinuated that there was a calm before the storm, and over the last hour or so, I wouldn't say it's been a storm, but there's been quite a strong gale as there's been another announcement, and it's been done in a very unique way, we could say.
Yeah, oh, hang on, there's another one coming in.
Yeah.
The football manager, I like that. I literally said to you earlier, didn't I? I said, don't know anything about Zabarnyi. Is that how we're going to pronounce it? I'm not sure. I'll give it a go.
Tom doesn't know something about someone. There's a first
all I do know is he's bloody good on footy manager. So yeah, obviously they knew that as well. So yeah, that was nice. I like that. And obviously Traore should be round the corner. But yeah, it sounded like from a few little bits talking to Mark and Chris Temple and a few people that there might be something else. But by the sounds of it, I think Alex Crooks put a tweet out recently on TalkSport.
Up the chairs.
Saying that we did look at maybe a domestic loan, but it might not be happening. It sounds like Skip was rumoured, but Tottenham have blocked that potentially. So yeah, it might just be them two. But yeah, we've done some nice bits, mate.
Right, so look, this is our first broadcast that we've done live on Back in the Net for quite a while, but we've done deadline days in the past, mate, where we've been at home in the warm, and it's been beautiful. Shane Long Day.
Oh, what night!
That was when? That was what? Was that this? That
was COVID, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was COVID.
Tyndall, yeah.
But last January, that was also exciting. What was it? 5 announcements on deadline day. Then?
Yeah. I think we got 7 overall, but I think it was. I want to say, might be wrong, but I want to say Woodman was done before deadline day, maybe. Nah, I think he might have been deadline day. I think it might have been James Hill, wasn't it? He was done earlier.
Yeah, he was done earlier.
But then on deadline day, it was Dembele, there was Kiefer Moore, there was Nat Phillips. So yeah, I'm pretty sure there was Campwell coming. So yeah, we've had a couple of busy Januaries, mate. And I remember thinking at the time, we ain't gonna have one like this for a while. And we've taken it up a level, certainly in terms of finances as well, mate.
Yeah, we certainly have. And look, Bill, if you step to the right a little bit, just to make sure your visage is completely in frame. Bill Foley promised us riches. He said, firstly, he said we won't go down, but that remains to be seen. Hopefully we won't. But he also said 4 to 5 new signings. Now I think it's at 5. It's officially at 5, and with a 6th potentially around the corner very, very soon.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think all we can say is he's put his money where his mouth is, and he said that he's going to invest. He's going to give Gaz the tools that he needs and the players that he needs, which he's obviously tried to do. And let's just hope he ticks off the other thing, which is we won't be relegated. We'll see. But it's been a good window, hasn't it? I mean, the calibre of players as well is really impressive. I think, I don't know if there's any Bournemouth fans that think we could have done any more, really. I mean, there'll be some, if you're really picky, you go, central midfield maybe. But I think Traore can do that role a little bit as well. But yeah, there's been some great signings, mate. And it'll just remains to be seen. I think I was saying to you then before we come on that we need some to go. Because otherwise we're going to have people just not in the squad that are here, just getting paid to sit there and do nothing. Obviously don't know about the likes of Brooks, Stanislas to do with their fitness, and also Dembele. And there's been rumours that he's going out on loan, but nothing signed, sealed and delivered. So we ain't got long, mate.
No, we haven't got long. So earlier, honestly, it's been a mad day. You were on BBC Radio Solent, live in the studio. How did you teleport from there to here, mate? I was doing a thing with Olly May. We'll have some clippets of some of the stuff that we've been doing. Also some reminders of some recent games as well. Basically piss breaks. But you could do us a massive favour, by the way, by putting a thumbs up on this video. We'd truly appreciate it. And if you did see this on Twitter or whatever, make sure you share it on your socials. We'd truly appreciate it. Hopefully, Mark McAdam, we know, is in there at the moment. Jack Tanner's nearby. We'll also hopefully be speaking to Dan Davis from Dorset Live. Also, Ahmed Shooble as well. So that will be exciting. And Tom, you've got loads of contacts on your phone, haven't you?
Right.
So you must be getting phone calls all over.
All the time, but yeah, there's
Who's
a
that?
few bits going off at the moment.
Tiggs, what does he want?
Yeah, go away, Tiggs.
Go away.
We've just had a Chris Temple actually.
All right.
The indoor at the Vitality Stadium isn't quite locked shut yet, as we've been saying on the radio on Celtic Sport. No guarantees, but don't turn the lights out yet.
Well, but then this is going to be Traore, right?
Well, I don't know.
Mark McAdam earlier, he didn't promise me, but he said, don't be surprised if, as well as the two names you already know, there might be one or two others. And sounds like we were looking in the loan market.
Yeah, I think I briefly mentioned it there. I think there was one that was rumoured was Oliver Skipp at Tottenham, because if you're not aware, you're allowed two from the Premier League, obviously, and we've got Jack Stevens, so we can get another one in. And it looks like we might try and utilise that. And it's probably, I guess, that a low move if they're from the Premier League, not too far away, potentially in London, say, or something like that, say a Skip from Tottenham. It'd be quite easy to get that done at the last minute. We know we're doing a lot via London at the moment, so don't check the flights to come to Bournemouth or anything. But yeah, I think if it was going to be anything, it might be a loan deal. But as you say, mate, we've had a few people saying that, there might be someone coming that you hadn't heard of yet. So we're still kind of waiting, aren't we? And you never know. I haven't spotted anyone yet, but I'd maybe a central midfield player. It wouldn't shock me if we got a loan in for potentially a central midfield player. I don't actually think Conor Gallagher's gone anywhere yet, and he's been rumoured with a lot of clubs, not us. I'm just throwing it out there, really, that he's been. You'd think he'd want game time, and Chelsea brought so many players in, so maybe him. I can't really. Let us know in the chat if you can think of anyone from maybe a Premier League club that might fancy some minutes. Not Ryan Fraser, of course. He's going to Hull.
And he's getting. What is that mauled by the Tigers chant, by the way, that Hull fans?
Oh, yeah.
Is that now become a parody? So they're their own parody.
Take the mick out of themselves. But
weird.
Yeah, to be fair, when he is about the Tigers, he might not fancy it. He might not fancy it. Could get nasty for him there. But I think there might be a sneaky one. Who knows? Still got a few hours, mate. You know how quickly things can get done.
We have got a few hours now. I'm not going to freak you out, but I'll be controlling the show from my phone in a bit. But for now, I'll be using the laptop. We're going to see who's there at the moment. Let's see. Oh, we've got so many people with their thumbs up. Thank you. Look at all these beautiful people who are on chat. We'll be going through these very, very shortly to see everyone who's there. Oh, look at all this.
Lovely. Just making sure the scum are still going out.
Good luck with the lineup on Saturday, Tom.
Oh, God, yeah, I forgot about that.
Kevin Parsons. Yeah, you can have no chance with that, mate.
Yeah.
Also, we've got Dan Short here as well. And look, thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. So, mate, I'm assuming.
Cool, isn't it?
What's that?
It's got Zabarnyi in like the Frizzell, the old shirt. Someone's done a little.
Love that. So you must know pretty much everything about every player that we've signed. But
of course.
Look, firstly, the transfer window started off, and
it was like ages ago, didn't it?
Well, Dango Ouattara was our first signing.
It's gone from Dango Ouattara to Dango Ouattara.
Well, that's what I kept on
I
calling
think it's Dango now, isn't it?
Ouattara.
It is Dango, yeah.
It's Dango and it's Ouattara as well. So Chris Temple on his commentary got it bang on.
Of course he did.
Need to say Willow pronounced it incorrectly, but he's had about 10 years to learn Stanislas. Still can't say it. But you know what? One of my concerns was the players that we've got through the door, lack of Premier League experience. I know that some have got international experience. I know they played in their top flights, but the Premier League is a different league. It can be quite physical. It can be sometimes very quick, a lot faster than other leagues. We need players with Premier League experience to hit the ground running. I mean, Dango didn't have that experience, but he hit the ground running anyway. And that debut against Forest was absolutely superb.
I think considering he'd only been through the door a few days, I thought it was really impressive, actually. Did not expect him to come in and play like that. I didn't expect him to come straight in, to be fair. So, yeah, that was really impressive. And, look at Mark coming through. Mark, we're live.
Come on in.
We're live.
Come on in.
Absolutely done. Yeah, we are live.
Look who it is, the man himself.
Normally I get upset when people come and interrupt me when I'm live, and I've just done exactly the same thing to you guys. So
how are you?
Look at this setup.
Lovely, isn't it?
This is back of the day. I've got
better than Sky Sports.
If only you could have our view of what we're looking at the moment.
Light in my face.
Mark, it's been busy. You've announced another name.
I don't know if it's been announced yet. I announced it. It might not have been confirmed by the football club.
I'm trying to trick him into it.
Yeah,
Ahmed Traore
from
Sassuolo, £21 million, midfielder, young lad again. Good experience for a young lad, someone that could be really exciting. Medical done, I think it was done in France. He's not been in the country, but that's because of work permits and visas. Yeah. Now he has to have, I'll get the order wrong, but he has to have a visa before he can come over. So there's a little bit of paperwork complications, but the deal's done. So nice. We're just waiting for official confirmation from the football club. So I probably ruined their announcement, but never mind. So that's that. So that's 2 today. Yeah. Although Vina was done at like quarter to midnight last night. So they've taken away our thunder. That was supposed to be 3 signings today, minimum. And then of course on top of Ilya as well, Zabarnyi. So that's a really good 24 hours. But I keep saying it, and I'm going on here. I still don't think we're finished.
Really?
Now,
really?
Yeah, I don't know. I could be completely wrong. I know, Oliver Skip, interest there, didn't happen. Tottenham don't want to let a young player go, and particularly when they're struggling with their homegrown quota and their numbers that they need to make sure that they can fulfill the requirements for that.
They've lost a few today as well, haven't they? I think Doherty's gone.
Yeah, Doherty's one of those. He's gone. Yeah. That's why they won't let Japhet Tanganga go as well. Yeah. They need him and that sort of stuff as well. So that's that. But I think that one's fallen away. But the one thing I know they get a lot of criticism from the fan base at times, but the one thing this football club never does is they never stop working until the last minute. They always work. I can't remember a deadline day where we haven't signed a player.
And what's the official cut-off point? Is it 11 or midnight?
It's 11 o'clock officially. However, if you have a deal that is all agreed and sorted, bar paperwork, you can essentially apply for a 2-hour extension. Which a lot of clubs might actually do today because there's a couple of big deals. Enzo Fernandez, Marcelo that's gone from Bayern Munich to Manchester United. There's Jorginho's been completed. I think there might be 1 or 2 others as well that escape me at the moment, but there might be a few that are just going right to the last knockings of the window, and they say, well, actually, we just need a little bit more time to get our paperwork in order. So in theory, it could go to 1 a.m. But
so are you thinking if there is one more, it's more than likely to be a domestic loan potentially?
Well, I just think that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just think that they've got that opportunity to bring in a player on loan. They can have 2 domestic loans, and they've only utilised 1 at the moment, which is obviously Jack Stevens. The club have spent huge amount of money in this window. Bill Foley said he'd back the manager. He's backed the manager. They've all, even Maxim, apart from perhaps the last summer, but we've spoken about that, why he didn't perhaps strengthen. So they've always backed him and brought in players, and very different style of recruitment in this window, but young players, which fits the mold of what we want. Hopefully exciting players to watch as well, which is also what we want. I think Bournemouth fans should walk away from this and go, right, whatever happens, if this is it, the 6 players that we've got in this window, and look at that and go, well, that was really successful. Bill Foley said 4 or 5, we've done 6. I think the key thing now would be, let's go and support the manager. Let's go and give him the tools to be successful. He's got players. You look at the bench last week, it's filled with kids.
Yeah.
No Tavernier, no Billing, Lloyd Kelly, no Solanke, no Neto. Come on. What's Gary O'Neill supposed to do? Go and get results with youth kids. Come on. We need to give the guy a bit of support. He had a great unbeaten run. He did really well. Whatever you think of him, now let's give him the chance to be successful. And if in 4, 5, 6 games time things aren't going great, then of course you can vent your pick. But judge him on the team that he's got, not on the team that's sat in the stands.
And these new players can give the whole squad a bounce, can't they?
I think this will give everyone a massive bounce. If there's any negativity on social media tomorrow morning, then I'd be, really upset. This is an opportunity that we've taken. We've recruited. We've worked really hard. We've brought in new players. We've spent a lot of money. Let's see some energy about this. Like we had in 2015, like we had in 2003, like we've had in 2008. Let's see a buzz about the place again. Let's see some positivity. Let's see a fan base united together, all getting behind the players and the club. And you rightly say that these new faces, young players with no fear in their eyes and an attitude to prove people wrong and prove to people that they're good quality Premier League players, and that they can keep this side in the division. And if you've got players that come in with that kind of mentality and attitude and willingness to just give everything for the club, then hopefully that can only mean, positive results.
So 6 through the door, is it in total? Possibility,
I can't work it out.
possibility maybe.
Yeah, 6.
And look,
Yeah.
Do you know the name?
No, do you know what? I've had so many names chucked at me over the last 24, 48 hours. Most of them have gone away. There are a couple that potentially could happen. And what you have to remember about deadline day and transfers in general, one phone call to Richard Hughes or Gary O'Neill that says, would you be interested in this player? We want to send him out on loan. He's not in our 25-man squad. And they just say yes or no. That is one phone call that could be 40 seconds long.
Yeah.
And suddenly the whole thing changes.
But in terms of if there is a late signing, obviously there's medicals to do and all that kind of stuff. Do they get licensed to do that afterwards, or what happens with that? Is it just the paperwork?
Yeah, it depends. Every scenario is different. Nicholas Jackson was a medical that took 2.5 days. And there was a reason for that, because they wanted to be thorough. They wanted to have scans. They wanted to make sure everything. They wanted different opinions. They wanted everything to come together. And other medicals, as you've seen today, and as you've seen for other clubs as well, have been done, in a couple of hours. So there are different types of medicals that you can do. If a player comes to you with an ACL injury and a problem with his hamstring and a problem with his ankle, you're going to take a lot longer doing the medical. If a player comes to you with a really good record and you go, actually, yeah, he's okay. He's got no serious injuries. He's been okay. He's been fit for most of his career. There's not as much to worry about as there is for other players. So, yeah, the medical side of things, it can be, how long's a piece of string.
Well, Mark, I'm looking forward to hearing this next announcement. Hopefully it will be soon. He's excited. And thank you very much for coming on, Mark. Really
No
appreciate
worries.
it.
I'm just enjoying this setup here. This is nice. You just need a heat lamp or
Oh,
something.
just
You can stay out here for the rest of the night.
We'll invest in, Mark. We will invest. Cheers.
Brilliant.
For
Mark.
Thank you very much.
Cheers,
Take care,
mate.
mate.
Take
See you
care.
later on. Mark McAdam there from Sky Sports News. Tom, you're not cold. Why am I not cold?
Why? Because you got how many layers you got on there?
I've got enough left. From one reporter to another, we're gonna have some more.
I thought you were about talking to me again.
Well, yeah, mate. I always love to talk to you.
Gosh.
But Dan Davis is here
Hi, Dan.
from Dorset Live. Dan, how you doing?
Yeah, not bad. How are you? Keeping warm?
Very, very good. Mate, we
Fine.
are lovely. We are
You
lovely
look it. Yeah,
and
you look
toasty.
toasty.
Hopefully, there's no feedback for anyone listening on YouTube. We've got echo cancellation on, which should mean that it should be all right. But Dan, busy day for you?
I'm knackered. I won't lie. Absolutely knackered. Yeah, second transfer window in the job, and I mean it's a real privilege to be able to see things from this side. Don't get me wrong. It's a lot of work. Obviously Mark as well, being kept busy at the stadium, all sorts going on, all kind of rumours, a lot of speculation going around. It's a never-ending kind of wheel. So yeah, a lot to keep on top of. But ultimately we're almost there. Could be another surprise, who knows? But yeah, in reflection, what a window for the club, to be honest, so far. And if this is how it stays with the 6 signings, it's incredible.
Yeah, no, definitely.
It's it must be a different kind of challenge for you, because obviously when Mark McAdam gets his news, he's live on Sky and he can just say it straight away. But you've got to be typing it up but trying to get it out relatively quickly as well. It's a different type of challenge to mould a story into your own words, but also like needing to have the immediacy of an instant story as well. That's surely quite a task on deadline day.
It is, yeah. I mean, there's all sorts of formats involved, as you know. Social media first and foremost. You've got to sort of pre-prepare a lot of pieces as well, confirmation pieces, get a lot of stuff stood up and make sure, bottom line is you know what you're talking about. That's obviously the most important thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a real juggling act. I mean, I'm just constantly on my phone all day, checking all sorts, following up on stuff, inquiring about stuff. It's the nature of the beast, really. But like I say, yeah, deadline day. I mean, the window's been hectic, as you can imagine, but yeah, especially today, there's obviously all kinds of rumblings about what might happen, what has already happened, what is still to come. So yeah, a lot to keep on top of, definitely.
Could there be a surprise now? It just feel like that, doesn't it?
Could there be a surprise?
Everyone's teasing with it. So
we were talking before Mark McAdam rudely interrupted us just a moment ago. We were talking about Dango Ouattara, and we were saying how he's hit the ground running. He's a player that we're all excited to see more about. Other than that, which player do you think that Cherries fans should be quite excited to see, like in a red and black shirt?
So my eyes will be, firmly on Traore, once that goes through, of course, that should just be a matter of a confirmation at some point. Yeah, from what I've seen of him, looks brilliant. Again, a player that can kind of drop in, stitch passes, get moves going. I feel like someone in that role to kind of get on the ball and drag the team forward, keep play moving. I mean, I've made no secret of the fact that, you know, especially under Gary Neal's permanent matches in charge, things have been a bit too slow, a bit too stunted. We saw, obviously, the debut against Nottingham Forest was exceptional, as you say. That's exactly what I want to see going forward from, you know, these attacking players. They're young, raw, they've got high talent ceilings. So Traore ticks a lot of boxes for me personally. I was delighted that things started to trend in the right direction for that. Like I say, it should just be a matter of time now till that's unveiled. And I'm really looking forward to seeing him in a Bournemouth shirt moving forward.
It does feel like the kind of, I was talking about it on Solon earlier, but the kind of the mold of the player that we're signing, they're all like, they're athletic, they're powerful, they're fast, and it's that tempo, like Daniel says, like it's been so much slower of late anyway. Probably with players being out, I think Tavernier has been a massive blow from that. But it's that injection of pace and energy which Ouattara brought. Traore should bring. Semenyo looks like he's got that about him as well. So yeah, I agree. I think that's going to be really exciting. It just feels like it's going to be nice to watch, but it's also just going to give us a bit more of an impetus to have a foothold in games. It just feels like we're so sluggish.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the right style of players have been brought in, and obviously Randolph as well is obviously the goalkeeper. But apart from him, they all seen that sort of that mould, which I like anyway.
What's the current status of play with the outgoings then, Dan? Are there players that are likely to go, or do we not think there will be any?
So yeah, I was keeping an eye on Siriki Dembele today. Seems like, I mean, trial's literally just been announced by the club, so there we go.
How was it?
Yeah, literally just now. 9:46.
Oh, interesting time.
There we go. Interesting time.
So,
that's
we got the exclusive on Back of the Net then, Tom.
Yeah, no, we did.
Mark McAdam told it.
Yeah,
but yeah, there he is. There he is. No video like Football Manager-esque, but they've mocked up
initial loan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's initially on loan, which will become permanent in the summer. So
right.
Okay. So yeah, that's good. Glad that one's through the door. So we still got a bit of time, mate, to get a surprise in, I reckon.
Yeah. Yeah, so Traore is gonna be interesting to watch. But yeah, I mean, Siriki Dembele is always the one that we thought would be interesting to watch. But yeah, you were saying about him, he looked like he might have been sort of leaving for League A, but yeah, not really sure.
That's going to be quiet. Yeah, I must admit. So I spoke about it a bit earlier this afternoon, and that's what I believed was going to happen. It's something obviously I'll follow up on as soon as I come off this and check a few things out. But yeah, I mean, it's a move that makes sense, to be honest. They've barely scored many goals this season, to be honest. They need someone in kind of that creative role. Dembele will provide that in spades. He's not played as much as he would want at Bournemouth. I wanted to see more of him. Yeah. I think it's a shame how limited his action has been this season, to be honest. So yeah, I feel like a loan move would suit both parties. Again, if that goes through, I think it works out for both. But yeah, definitely one to keep an eye on, I think, before the deadline.
If that weren't to go through, as you say, if that weren't to happen, and we've got the bodies in that we've got in now, there will be some that would have to be left out, wouldn't there, of the 25? Is there a chance that Siriki Dembele, who, as you said that, like I think we could see more from, if it doesn't go through, could he be sat here not in the 25?
I think it would be harsh, to be honest, because of what I think he can bring. Unfortunately, you've now got these new signings coming in to fill those spots. So arguably he falls even further down the pecking order. Gary, every single time he's asked about him, says, I really rate him. He's very much in the plans. But it seems like he's saying one thing and maybe not quite backing that up with his selections.
Someone's going to have
to,
someone's going to have to be left out, aren't they? I'm trying to think, like, we've got 3 right backs. Is there a chance maybe like a Stacey, or I'm just trying to think of them fringe players that if we have to leave someone out of the squad, obviously we don't know the state of play with Stanislas Brooks, for example, in terms of fitness, but or even because we'll have 3 goalkeepers in that squad now.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking if things don't get done, there's surely going to be at least one player that is here but not registered.
Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's some real big decisions to make, definitely over the coming days in terms of that final squad. Like you say, I was thinking about Jack Stacey earlier, and I don't think there's been too much movement in terms of clubs actually expressing an interest in that, as far as I'm aware. So maybe that's another player who isn't getting as much game time as he would want in that position. Like you say, his competition there as well.
Yeah.
But Frederick's coming back into the fold. Stanislas is definitely a big question mark.
Mm.
I think even when he does return to fitness, is he consistent enough in what he can, the amount of minutes he can give you to justify a spot in that squad? I mean, it's some real, like I say, big choices to make.
Yeah.
You don't want it to be a last minute scramble like with arguably what happened to Will Dennis, the club expected players to go, didn't quite happen, and then suddenly you're making decisions like that. It'll be very interesting to see how the makeup of that squad pans out over the coming hours and days.
Brilliant stuff. Well, Dan, I'm sure you're busy. I'm sure you've got things to type up.
I
Certainly
do,
over the last couple of minutes. So we'll let you go. But
Enjoy.
really appreciate you coming on, mate, and nice to have the exclusive news revealed whilst you were on air as well. So Dan, where can people check out your work quickly?
Dorset Live, Dorset Live website at Dan_Davis20 on Twitter. Cherries Live as well on Twitter and Facebook. So there'll be loads of stuff going up across the rest of tonight. And take care, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Nice
Cheers.
one, mate.
Thank you for coming on. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers. I'm gonna go to the toilet.
You're gonna go to the toilet?
Yeah, I'm going. I'm just gonna go and see what's going on. I'm gonna see if I can find this mystery player, Shane Long.
Yeah, I'll tell you what.
Shane,
we're going to be bringing on very, very shortly the main man that is Ahmed Shooble, because he's going to be talking all things ball with us. Do you remember what that last match was like against Nottingham Forest? I really enjoyed it, and we're going to relive it now inside 60 seconds. Welcome. We need 3 points, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer.
I think scoring first is essential.
And the teams have just come through, mate. Can you have a look? Who's
Stevens is playing.
And I think we're going to win 3-1.
Then Ouattara, I don't know where he's going to play. Where's he going to play then?
2-1 Bournemouth.
I'm going to say a 2-1 win, no?
4-1. Uh-oh. Goal. Pretty quickly. VAR checking it. Offside! That was done really quickly. Yeah! Come on! Dango assist! Oh! Yes, it's going to shoot! Score! Oh! 43 minutes on the clock. Oh, unlucky! We're running at players, Tiggs.
Amazing!
Uh-oh, well saved. Well,
Jane Anthony's getting so much more confident on the ball.
Sam Turridge equalises at the far post. It's a goal, though. It's a goal.
More than Forest share the spoils.
Worrying times for Bournemouth, I think, but you got to say it was an improved performance. Yeah, so there we go then. That's the kind of enjoyment that we're hoping to be hopefully at Brighton we're going to be experiencing some more attacking football, just less of the conceding. Tom, who's your favourite journalist in the world? Say Ahmed Shooble.
What was that?
Say Ahmed Shooble.
Ahmed Shooble.
He's
Is that right? Here he is.
from The Athletic. Ahmed Shooble. How are you, buddy? You all right?
I'm good. Thanks, Tom. I'll give you a tenner in the post later, yeah?
Thank you, man. How you doing? Been a busy day, yeah?
Good, man. Knackered. I can't imagine. I didn't imagine there'd be a busier January transfer window than the last one. But here we are. 6 signings. I think it was 5 in the last one, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Yeah.
I never thought we'd see a magnificent 6, but here we are. And it's Traore, the last one. Well, I say last one. We've been getting drip feeds of teasers through different channels, but for now, I guess it seems like the last one. But we never know. Those deal sheets could be handed in, and Bournemouth could be granted an extra 2 hours. Who knows?
Yeah. What do you think, Ahmed? Who's your, out of all the players we've brought in thus far, the 6, as you say, who excites you the most? Who's the one you think can bring the most to us?
I think Traore.
Yeah.
I think Traore, man, because when I'm in the midst of doing like a profile piece on him, what Bournemouth can expect, going through his games and stuff. But when you go on Transfermarkt and then you go on like all the positions they play, with him, it's like all the midfield roles, left wing, right wing. It's like it's unreal. It's unlike anything I've ever seen. And he's still only 22 years old. It's insane. Like when I was speaking to some of the people in the recruitment team at the club, they don't usually get excited when they speak to journalists, even when the deal is like going on. They tend to kind of they're quietly confident. You won't really get much out of them, but with this, oh mate, they were so excited, and you can see why just in the clips that you see of him. You know, he's so versatile, and I think he can be a real positive solution to Bournemouth's creative issues.
Do feel like statement signings, don't they? Also, obviously I don't even want to try. How do you pronounce his name? Zabarnyi?
Oh, you mean you're the king of pronouncing most names, mate. I'm surprised.
Zabs. He's another one, isn't he? That I've seen for probably the last year or so. You've kind of thought, oh, he's a highly regarded centre half that could go to one of the big boys in the future. Obviously, got a lot of caps for Ukraine already, considering his age. And how have we managed to just get our hands on him and sign him permanently?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's mad because a lot of people were making. I mean, you could say a lot of things about Scott Parker, and the style of football may not have been the most attractive in the eye, but he communicated, or was able to communicate a kind of a pitch to players. Like Ryan Christie had interest in Burnley at the time, who were in the Premier League. He came down to Bournemouth. Gary Cahill came down to the Championship as well. He managed to convince Todd Cantwell, who didn't really get the rub of the green, had a lot of competition, but still managed to convince him to come on loan. And a lot of people, myself included, were thinking, well, I mean, how the hell are Bournemouth going to convince players without that? You know, you've got Gary O'Neill. This is his first stint as a manager. But Bournemouth have always been able to back themselves on their ability to communicate a clear vision. That's the main thing. Like, they don't mind being, I don't really like using this phrase, but a stepping stone of a club. They don't mind attracting those big names that someone like a Tottenham or maybe even an Arsenal will be in for, because they can guarantee games now and progression in their career. I remember in the summer, Marcus Tavernier is a great example. Nottingham Forest were in for him. It was a shootout between Bournemouth and Nottingham Forest. And Marcus was just like, I want to go to Bournemouth because they're able to communicate a better vision for me. I was speaking to a few people at the club, and they were saying things like, even beyond his Bournemouth career, they foresee a pathway to the England squad for him as a potential left wing back if they want to keep playing a sort of 5 at the back system. So, just things like that. I think Bournemouth have always had that advantage over their sort of competitors. And you're talking about attracting. I mean, when I tweet these sort of news lines out, I'm getting a lot of other jealous fans. Like, how the hell have Bournemouth managed to convince this guy? Like, basically mentioning their own directors of football, telling them to wake up because Bournemouth are just having blinders. It's remarkable. Bournemouth are in the relegation zone, and they're attracting some of the most highly coveted young talents on the continent. It's great.
If you're selling a project, though, you're obviously selling Premier League football. But what happens if we do get relegated? I mean, are these players up for a season in the Championship? I mean, it's a funny one, because they must be good salesmen. Because at the end of the day, I mean, our form since Gary O'Neill has been permanent manager has been awful. There have been other clubs that have been picking up points. And, we've got some really difficult matches, especially towards the end of February and into March as well. And, I'm not expecting us to get many points out of them. These matches that we've got are must win. And if we don't, we're going down. So relegation is a distinct possibility. So, I mean, Blake and Hughes must have been very good to sort of convince these players to come on board, surely.
Yeah, I think the general MO when it comes to Bournemouth is they'll never let a player, like if a suitable offer comes in for any of their players, even the starting players, you better have enough money if you're coming in to buy them. But if a suitable offer comes in, they won't stand in the player's way. So say, for example, these new signings, Zabs, as you rightfully called him, and Semenyo, even I think Semenyo might stay, but let's say, for example, Traore and Zabs, if they perform valiantly from now to the end of the season and Bournemouth still go down, there are going to be suitors for them. And I think Bournemouth will do well to get, suitable fees for them, and then they'll be on their way. I don't think it's any hard feelings. But at the same time, I do think these players, while they are young, they can hit the ground running. And particularly with Semenyo, I'm looking for him to hit the ground running. Depends how long Solanke's out for, and Tavernier, to be fair, because Semenyo can play out wide too. But I'm looking for these players to hit the ground running now, and I don't even think relegation is in their mind, to be honest.
I think that's the main thing. Just try not to think about that relegation while you're on the pitch. But as you say, Sam, they're obviously, that's going to be in the back of their heads when they're going to sign. But I think, as Ahmed said, you've got we've done it before. Nathan Ake, what did we sign him? 20 million. And then we sold him quite quickly after for double the price because we went down. And I think they'll know that. But equally, I reckon that I wouldn't be surprised if they've said, look, the form we're on at the moment, obviously, there's a long way to go. Hopefully, we'll stay up. If we don't, we're going to have a bloody good squad. We'll bounce back up and look at this project we're trying to do now with the new ownership. So if it's one season, it's one season. I think that's what they'll be trying to say. And that's what I'm trying to think as well. I still think, let's see how they all hit the ground running. But I certainly think we are the favourites to go down for a reason.
But then
still
surely we'd be the favourites to come back up.
We'll be the,
so either way, we've got 1.5 amazing seasons ahead of us. Hopefully 1.5 in the Premier League. But if not,
certainly be good fun, won't it?
The Championship will be fun, won't it? And we all love a trip to Kenilworth Road, mate. Especially you do at half time, free beer and all that. Ahmed, so it's been very busy. Mark McAdam indicates that there were suggestions that there could be another name through. Is that something that you're privy to?
Well, how to answer this question?
He knows, doesn't he?
No, I don't.
This is a hostage situation. You can't leave this scream until you tell us.
No, he knows.
No, I can't say there's anything in the pipeline for sure, because these things always come back to bite you. But you just have to wait and see. Like after Skip wasn't going to happen. I'll be honest. I didn't foresee anything else happening. But like this is literally, we're in the final hour now, and as Mark said earlier, all it takes is one phone call, and that can change everything. And if enough of the deal has been done, if the deal has been agreed further enough, then Bournemouth can proceed with the deal sheet and then get the extra 2 hours. So you literally never know. I can't rule anything out at this point. I'd be foolish to. But I will say this is Nicolo Zaniolo's situation. I'm putting together a debrief on that, because there is a lot to that I think people don't really appreciate, and I feel like he may have been he's become a bit of a scapegoat in Rome, I think. And I feel like a lot of the stuff that's been leaked to the media is not done him any favors. And I think that's just on a separate note. That's something that I think just watch out for. I'll be explaining that in much more detail. That's a situation which, surprisingly, it has been in the works for some time, but it just never came to pass. It's quite a sad situation, really.
The Athletic always have a unique twist on stories. So don't tell me you've chatted to his like long lost stepmom or something, and she's given the inside scoop to you or something like that. Is that right?
Yeah, I just came back from Rome. I went down to his neighborhood, as you grow up to as a kid. These things like these transfers. It's difficult when you work in football. The only reason I work in football is because I've loved it. I grew up watching it, but when you actually take a step inside, you realize 95% of the people are bonkers and just don't really know what they're doing. And not a slight to Bournemouth or anything. Everyone I've spoken to at Bournemouth are wonderful and helpful wherever they can be. But it's just like, particularly a lot of the bigger clubs, like you realize that they don't really know that much, and things are just kind of like they can get very shady behind the scenes. But yeah, all will be revealed on Zaniolo in due course.
Potentially Zaniolo's been told he's got all these moves available, and he's going, I want to explore my options a bit, and then it looks like he's turned Bournemouth down, now he's crawling back. I think we don't know, do we? So yeah, that'll be definitely well worth a read, I think, when that comes out.
So in terms of frequently used apps over the last month or so, Ahmed, I'm assuming Twitter, I'm assuming obviously you've been using the Athletics own app, maybe the BBC News website, Sky Sports. Flight Radar 24, is that one of them?
No, I'm not that guy. I let the supporters deal with that, and then if anything sort of catches my eye, I'll have a look. But no.
Ahmed, we'll be back with you very, very shortly. If you didn't catch the Mark McAdam chat earlier, here's a little bit of it now. To come.
It's rather quaint, quiet, and peaceful at the moment, which is unlike deadline day, isn't it? It's normally, slam, bang, wallop, and all systems go. Where it's just bubbling, I would say, is probably the best way to describe it. We know the club are working actively in the background to try and recruit players today. We know that there's a couple of deals agreed as well as the Matias Vina that came into the country last night. I've seen him this morning. He's gone through the media stuff, and he's been involved in a little bit of light training as well. So that's one deal that's all sorted out. But the good news for Bournemouth fans is I still think there could be maybe one more, maybe two more. I know that they are trying desperately to bring players to the club.
What names that we don't know?
Yes. So, and that's the exciting thing, isn't it? It's
Wow.
But then there could be, let's be honest, Neil, Richard, Gary. There'll probably be 6 or 7 names that they're just juggling.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 might land. And that's always the way. That's what a lot of clubs do at this stage. They're just spinning plates. They're keeping players there that they might go for. If they don't get their target, then they can action something quickly.
Yeah.
Because if you don't get your target and you miss, and you don't have time to go and get it tomorrow because there is no tomorrow.
Yeah.
So you have to keep everyone just on the edge of the seat just in case.
So yeah, mate. I mean, things are maybe dying down a little bit, mate.
I don't know. I keep refreshing. I keep trying to see what's going on. Thinking, we've got a little bit of time. Yeah, we get a few little teasers, which makes me think there might. You never know. I think Mark made a good point, didn't he? Just saying that it does just take a phone call, and I kind of vaguely remember.
One call is all it takes.
I vaguely remember. Was it? Yeah, last year, Todd Cantwell felt like it come a little bit out of nowhere. We were linked with Joe Rothwell. He's got a sticker on it.
Why do they do that? It's already sealed on the lid. You just put a sticker on top of it as well. Sorry, mate.
So professional.
So professional.
Oh, what was this? First it was Mark cutting me off. Now what? What was I saying? Tell me what I was saying. Oh, Cantwell. We looked like we were getting Joe Rothwell, didn't we, last January?
Yeah.
And then it sounds like we suddenly got offered, oh, hang on, Tom might be available on loan.
Yeah.
And we got him out of nowhere. So who knows? Little phone call. I'm sure Shane Long's agent's doing the rounds, trying to get him a coat. Where is he now?
Who?
Shane Long.
No one cares. Oh, what, Reading? Did he go to Reading for a bit?
Yeah, he might have actually. Yeah, he might have. Andy Carroll. Would you take Andy? Oh, I don't know, Sam. But I want one more in just because it's cold.
Wait, we're going to stay on till midnight now.
No, we're not.
Go on, put a thumbs up or like the chat if you want us to stay on till midnight. We might. No, we won't. Look, it's not only us that's down here as well. A certain Olly May has been here live. Check out his YouTube stream, by the way. He's doing an unbelievable job, Ollie. We played football with him on Sunday night. Scored a fair few on Sunday, actually, didn't he?
He did.
But he's been doing this live show since like 3 o'clock. It had like 1,000 concurrent viewers at some point in time, but also came down here as well. And as part of the vlog tomorrow, I'm sort of looking at how different media sources in the south have covered it as well. So Radio Solent, Mark McAdam, Jack Tanner from the Echo, but also our own Olly May as well. So this was my chat with him earlier today. Ollie, it's been an interesting deadline day, and you've been covering it on your YouTube channel, mate. How have you felt that have we got enough? Have we got enough in the tank now? Have we got enough players? Is the personnel all right?
I hope so. I think, it's hard to tell now because there's so much that could change, and you never know. Some players you sign, are sort of backup. Sort of, you look at Randolph, you think, will we actually need him? And then maybe he ends up being a superstar. When we signed Neto, I thought, well, is he actually going to start over Mark Travers on last year's form?
Yeah.
I know that wasn't this window, obviously, but you look at that transfer and you think, well, actually, things work out in ways you don't expect. So, yeah, I think this has been a good window for Bournemouth.
As a YouTuber that's covering the deadline day live, mate, I mean, the challenges of getting this content out and staying on the ball whilst you're also on screen, mate, it's a tricky one, but you've been keeping abreast of it, mate. And this deadline day has not disappointed, but talk about the challenges that you've had to face, mate, over the last, I say 48 hours, but I suppose over the last month, because it's been crazy, isn't it?
It has. Yeah, well, deadline day is a build-up of so many different stories that come to an incredible sort of finale as such. Like you say, it is a month-long project where you look at transfers coming in and players will come into the fold last 10 minutes of transfer deadline day, which makes it so much more exciting. But it is, a process, and transfers, aren't done, without one person or two people. So it's interesting because social media gives you a chance to follow different sort of different variations of a transfer, and then different people give you different ideas of who potentially is rumoured and what's actually genuine. So yeah, it's very exciting, and I've enjoyed deadline day, but I'll sleep well. I'll sleep well.
Yeah, so Olly May's been doing a cracking job with his YouTube stuff. I was just saying to Tom, like, a slight shake. Steve Hensman offered us a coffee. Yeah, mate, come on down.
Where is he?
Costa. Toffee latte, please, mate.
I don't know where
you
he
know
is.
The drill. If he comes down, I would love that from him. He won't though, will he?
No, he wouldn't
He's
do
in
it.
his gym jams.
Yeah, absolutely bowled it.
I bet you're in your gym jam. I bet you got your big slippers on, Steve.
Oh.
Come on down. And what I'm going to do is, for members who are on Telegram, look, back in the net, the reason we can do this, the equipment that we've got, like everything that these kind of live streams, and well, I don't do live streams that often, but all the camera equipment and all the stuff that we buy regularly to do this channel through your kind donations, whether it's one-offs or it's a monthly subscription. And you can see at the bottom of the screen, afcbpodcast.com/coffee. What's that?
Oh no, I want anyone. He didn't look like a footballer. Just didn't have it about him. Didn't have that aura.
And it's just a minimum of like £3 a month. And anyone that's bought a mug, that that really helps us towards all our fees that we've got to pay, because it's quite an expensive habit that we've got, mate. So yeah, we do truly appreciate your support. And if you can contribute in any way, hit the link at the bottom of the screen. We would really appreciate it. I'm just looking, mate.
Just keep like the offer. I mean, my phone's already dead. It's been one of them. But it's been to be fair. I mean, I remember. I mean, you'll remember even more than me because you're slightly older. But
slightly.
For all them years, mate, deadline days and transfer windows were nothing to do with us. We weren't involved in it unless someone wanted to buy all our players for 20 grand and we couldn't turn it down.
Well, you were saying that you're kind of amazed. Like you were on a show with James Alcott earlier, and there were like Crystal Palace fans and fans from other clubs. How are Bournemouth?
They can't be more like Bournemouth. Yeah, it's crazy. And I was saying to you earlier, wasn't I? Even like obviously we've got great people as obviously we spoke to, like Mark McAdam, the Athletic, Chris Temple, that break news, but also like Fabrizio Romano. Why is he interested? It just seems mad to me that he's talking about us. Yeah. Like I still pinch myself sometimes, but as much as we are, we're Premier League club now. We got owners with cash, so we've got to enjoy it. Obviously soon enough we'll be back to actually watching games, and there'll be football to be played, and we need to improve performances. We know all that, and we know that there's certain things that it's been difficult on the channel lately actually to try and stay upbeat, because it's been frustrating.
The thing is it people moan about us sometimes because of like being positive unnecessarily, but it isn't that. It isn't. But sometimes like we all go to games because we hope to see a win. If we want to be sort of negative online, then we just wouldn't go to games if we don't enjoy it that much. But we all go because we want to see them win. That's why we choose to be positive about it. And yes, it does hurt when we lose, but we do need to be positive, mate. Yeah. And
no, absolutely. And to be honest, mate, you know me. I mean, especially kind of last few seasons, particularly the one we didn't go up with Jason and stuff. I did get a lot of I'm too positive, and then
mate Jason.
My mate Jace, who's through to the final, by the way, him and Eddie. Yeah. Well done, knocking the scum out. But I have found this is probably the hardest I've found it in recent times. Don't get me wrong, not when you go back a long way, but since kind of we've been that Premier League club, if you like, just because of the football since the break, really, since the World Cup, it's just been more. Yeah, all right, Carrie. It's just been because it's been so hard to watch. I think sometimes, I mean, we don't want to go back over old ground, but you know that sometimes we lose games when we first got to the Premier League, but it was always had a go, didn't we? It was always exciting. And I just think since the break, it's been really dull. And I thought Mark made a really good point, though, to be fair to him. He said, we've had players out. Let's judge him. Let's judge the team and the staff. Now we've got the tools. If he's got, he has got Traore, Semenyo, Solanke back, Tavernier, all these players, and we're playing turgid stuff and we're getting beat 1-0, not having any shots on target, then we're right to have a little bit of a moan about it. But let's see now we've got the tools, mate. I mean, a few really tough games. I mean, I'm thinking we've got Brighton around the corner and then some horrible games in terms of fixtures. And that's what these players are going to have to be blood and hit the ground running pretty quickly. So, yeah, but if you can't get excited about this window, mate, then what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? Good fun.
Brighton is our next away game.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's better than our last away game. I mean, we loved all the pre-match stuff, but during the game itself, it wasn't too great. Hello and welcome. Now, if only we could find where the pub is.
Fantastic memories of Brentford. We need points, but we need performances as well.
I'll go for 1-1.
All day I've said 2-2.
1-0.
I'm going to go for a 0-0.
We're going to nick a point and we're going to get out of the drop zone.
That's genuinely
Up the Cherries! No way! 1-0 Brentford. You ain't score when you're blessed. It's 20 grand up.
Some people might say Senesi was a little bit naive. Very, very harsh.
Tell me that wasn't obvious.
Stupid.
Oh, yeah. Hensman, who's on his way with toffee lattes, aren't you, Steve? No, you're not. It's fine. We'll put up with our water. Yeah, it was a difficult away day, but the thing is, I've sort of said, like, matches against the top six. I think we said this at the start of the season. Okay, maybe you can call them top seven now, although we didn't call them that at the time. Let's call them the big six. We sort of treat them as free hits, and it's the game against the other 14 or 13 is how you're going to be judged. Based on what we've done since Gary O'Neill took over, though, mate, it's been, we've dropped points to teams that we shouldn't be dropping points against, and we haven't got that many games left. People are saying we need 7 wins. There are the games there that we can win, but we have to hit the ground running. And Brighton would usually be one of those teams,
But they're flying.
but they are absolutely flying, and they've done so well under De Zerbi, haven't they?
What I will say is I remember when we first come up all them years ago into the Premier League, and we thought the same. It's going to be how we do against teams around us, and then we pulled out a few surprises, didn't we? We're going to have to do that again. Simple as that. There's no way. We're going to have to pull off a few surprises to stay up. And you could argue that the point at Newcastle was a point that we didn't expect. You got to remember that Tottenham game. We were 2-0 up. We were very, very close. And yeah, we're going to have to. There's going to have to be some games. Hopefully, Brighton is the start of it, where we go away from home at these sort of places and we nick something. And you never know. You never know. I mean, that Brentford game was. We say how bad it was, and it was bad. It turned on a decision that shouldn't have been given. And then you go in at half-time 0-0, and then, do you know what I mean? It's fine margins in football, isn't it? So yeah, we are going to have to pull out a few surprises. But as you say, mate, I think the disappointing one since the break was that Palace at home and the Forest at home. The Forest home in particular, where there was improvements, but we had the lead and we couldn't quite get over the line. So yeah, then bits of quality will hopefully help us with that. But as you say, mate, Brighton's a really tough place to start. They're flying, and yeah, but there's teams around us that, you know, after this window, we're probably in a better space of the field. I mean, Everton's a weird one because I think on one hand, Sean Dyche is everything you want to stay up.
In terms of the personnel, and they've lost Anthony Gordon.
True.
45 million, though.
Yeah, but they haven't done anything with it in this window. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, if you want a manager to come in and work with the players he's got and keep you up, it's Sean Dyche. And like I said to you earlier, Michael Keane, James Tarkowski, Dwight McNeil, he's worked with all of them at Burnley. So he'll certainly make them better.
He's a good manager.
Very good. But I think Southampton have done bits and they seem okay. But, you know, they're still not. I mean, Wolves, you go, good manager, they brought in. I think they brought in Craig Dawson at the back. But they still lack goals for me. I still don't think they score enough goals. A team that I think they probably will have too much, but the people aren't looking at enough. Leicester are just standing still for me. Leicester ain't doing anything and they look poor still. Are they out of the woods? West Ham have brought in Ings, but we know his injury. You know,
Leicester had that mini renaissance, didn't they?
Yeah,
it sort of gave them a little bit of ground, but maybe they're going to get pulled back in.
And there's a different end of the spectrum. I mentioned Wolves there don't look like they can score many goals, but a bit more resolute. And then Leeds look like they can score, but they also look they can ship a load. So there's a few we can drag in. And listen, out of all of them, people will be saying in that bottom pack or even just the bottom half, Bournemouth had the best window. So that's all we can hope for, isn't it? We've had the best window, you know, barring if you go into the mad guys kind of like Chelsea and stuff. So yeah, we got to take that, mate. And I'm just looking forward to actually going to the games and thinking, right, new players, bit of excitement, bit of positivity, more tempo, something to get behind, and hopefully a bit of a better atmosphere in here as well, because we'll have something to get behind. You know, we go and nick something at Brighton, then we got return of Eddie and stuff, which will be good fun. And then we go and take some points off them. It'll be amazing. So you never know, mate. It's been a positive one. What are you doing?
So basically, that's going on the Back of the Net Telegram group. That if they buy us a coffee, they can get on that if they pay monthly.
We'll buy us coffee now because I want one.
Yeah, but no. I mean, no. I think you're right. It's going to be going to the wire, isn't it? It's going to be going to the wire.
But this is a little question for you, actually, just off the top of my head. Everton away last game of the season. If I said to you that's a shootout, would you take it? Because Everton away, that's tough.
Well, you know what? I'm glad they haven't got Danjuma.
Yeah, true. Weirdly, a good thing that you went to Tottenham. But yeah, it might come up to. It's going to go to the wire, mate, like you say. But I don't know. I think it's given me more optimism this window than I thought I was just destined for. I think we're just sleepwalking the relegation. But these are real positive sides, and I think all it takes. We saw that against Forest, an improvement in performance. I wonder why that was. Well, suddenly we've got someone like Ouattara who's come in, taking on players, and it lifts everything. So, yeah, and I think it's quite good that we've got a tough away game to start, and then we've got back at home when the players have settled in a little bit more, some new players, and I think it'll be buzzing in there because everyone will be excited to see some new players, and hopefully some players back from bloody injury, mate. We need to have back. We need Don back. So, yeah, no, I'm a bit more optimistic now,
but still cold.
Freezing.
Look, I want to say thank you so much to all that. There's like 200.
You're welcome.
We had about 300 at one point. We'll be on 232. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you do. But yeah, like I say, if you do become a monthly member, we've got a private group where we post our bloopers when you make mistakes, first looks of some content, show ideas, show input, that kind of stuff.
Lights are still on, by the way.
Who are you seeing?
Well, I'm just seeing the lights are on. There's a few people wandering about, just seeing what's going on. Look. The lights are still on, though. The lights have not been turned out. Why is the club bar not open? God's sake.
You love the club bar. I'll tell you what, who you also love, and that is Jack Tanner. Chat to him earlier on, actually, and if you haven't seen that, make sure you click the video. But he was talking about transfer deadline day, and really nice chat with him, actually. And he'll be busy working away now. Jack, we're thinking of you, but here's what he had to say a bit earlier today.
We're expecting at least 2 more. That's definitely the noises we're hearing from the club, and it seems quite confident with bids accepted. Is just going for the normal rigmarole of like medicals and something like paperwork, getting players from abroad over here. It sounds like they are still looking, but I think now perhaps it's going to be very much 1 in, 1 out, or a few out, because there's going to be a kind of like a jam of players in terms of registration. I think 1 definitely at the moment has to go. Potentially 2 if one of the signings comes through. So really, before they can look at bringing anyone else in, it's about departures. So that's kind of where we're at, kind of listening at the moment. But we're not hearing too much on departures, but normally that sort of thing, once that ball starts rolling, the other balls kind of in a way start rolling in terms of incomings.
So would we not expect to see players here for medicals, or do they happen all over the country, or is it specifically London, a specific place? What happens with that?
It's very dependent. It depends like where a player is based on where they're arriving from, how quickly it is to like arrange travel, and also medical staff. In some cases, I know some clubs and Cherries at times they've done with different players like simultaneous medicals at different places. By sounds of it, I think today they're largely based out of London, just because it's obviously a central hub, a lot easier to get transport into. So yeah, I think London definitely this window has kind of been where they've been based, but that's also just the profile of player they've been after, just is the easiest for them.
So we've got a few players in. It's fair to say that Bill Foley's putting his money where his mouth is, isn't it? He's spending.
Yeah, it's interesting because he said it and he didn't kind of backchat, but then it was kind of very quiet at the start of the window. Perhaps he may have overstated it, and then it's just kind of out of nowhere just ramped right back up again. He might have even under-promised in a way, by the sounds of it. So yeah, I think he's obviously a very ambitious bloke. Having met him, having spoken to him, he very much isn't afraid to spend money. I think there is a plan to the spending as well. I don't think it is just chucking money at it. These players are very much fitting a profile, so it's not just like someone's hit the panic button. It sounds like, yes, all along the plan was to sign 4 or 5. They're just quite coy with it, because if you're a big new billionaire owner coming in, you don't want to tell everyone you've got money. You don't really want to tell everyone that you're going to buy a load of players. So I think Cherries kind of ramped that a little bit down just so they can go after the targets they wanted, and didn't set expectations too high for selling clubs for the money they might receive.
Yeah, that's Jack Tanner, who's on the stream now. Jack, hope you're doing well, mate. By the way, Mark Gregory, thank you so much for the super sticker. Really appreciate the support. You can do that and support us. Tom, you're smiling away there. What are you hearing things or something? What?
No, my feet are cold.
Quite often we have a tweet from Chris. Someone just alluded to it there, saying, you can go to sleep now. The business is done. And we were kind of hoping that we would get that at like 6 p.m. Haven't had it.
I remember us talking earlier in the week and kind of said we probably won't have to do much. It'll all be signed, sealed, delivered, won't it? So, yeah, I'm just checking to see if there's anything going on, mate. But, I don't know. Do you reckon there'll be anything last gasp?
No, I don't.
Refresh.
Yeah, we are refreshing. So, yeah, we're probably going to wrap it up there. Is it okay for us to wrap it up? Look, Mark McAdam, Chris Temple, Ahmed Shooble, Jack Tanner, Dan Davis, they've all done a ridiculously good job. There are people that I've probably missed out. All the other fan channels, of course, have done an excellent job. And really appreciate you coming on to this stream and listening to us bang on about football, mate. Brighton on Saturday. Are we gonna get a result?
Yeah, why not? 2-1 Traore at the end.
Well, that's just what we need. I mean, it could kickstart us. Newcastle are without Bruno for 3 games, aren't they? Because he got sent off. They're not going to be as strong as they usually are. So
they might have to recall make sure Fraser don't go to hole.
But he will be back for Wembley. It's almost like it was planned, wasn't it? There are 3 games they've got. So, you never know. Stranger things have happened. Look, on Back of the Net tomorrow, match day vlog or vlog, as one of our people keep vlog. It's a vlog. We've got a match day vlog. Sorry, a vlog that sums up deadline day. We'll have a match day vlog on Saturday. We'll have a preview show, of course, the away day guide, all that stuff. We need to catch up on Brentford as well, mate. So
need to get that one out as well. Yeah, because Brentford, good away day despite the performance, wasn't it, all in all? So you can check that out soon, I'm sure. But yeah, lots of bits to do before Brighton, mate. And hang on, who's that? That looks like that is.
What?
That's our coffee. That's Steve.
Oh my God, Steve! All right,
Steve Hedsman is here. We're gonna have to go. What a legend!
Steve Hedsman's here.
All right, we're gonna
keep us going.
Steve, come on. Steve, you're live.
You're live. What's going on? Has he actually got coffees? If he has, he's
what an absolute. There he is.
Can I turn this round?
I don't know. No, he's running over. Steve, they all know Steve Hedsman, don't they? Come on, Steve.
He's actually got coffees.
Yeah, of course.
You haven't.
Never in doubt.
Oh, you absolute babe. Hello, mate.
We're live.
Saints have lost.
Yeah, we know that.
Do you want to come on?
Do you want to come on? We're live.
Come on and chat ball quickly.
My lovely warm bed.
We're stopping now anyway, so we'll chat to you. Yeah.
Come on for 2
Steve,
seconds.
just say goodbye to everyone.
Goodbye, everyone.
Yeah,
there you are.
If you go in between, Tom, there you go.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be great for my height. That.
Yeah, good mate. Yeah, not too bad.
Nice and cold.
Yeah, freezing.
It's freezing.
Is this a toffee latte as well?
Yes.
Oh, lovely.
He's, you know what?
We've got loads of signings in.
Yeah.
And he's going to get so much love in the chat. Look at him. That's outrageous.
Eddie's done. Eddie,
yeah.
Put a heart in chat if you think that Steve's an absolute legend. To make sure
these boys deserve it. It's like helping the homeless, isn't it? Bringing you some.
Yeah.
Do you are you content with our deadline day business? Well, our business as a whole.
I think so. Yeah, mate. It's very exciting. There's a lot of pace, exciting talent there.
Yeah.
And the centre back we've got, you pronounce his name, was it Zabs?
Zabs. I call him Zabs. Yeah, Zabs. That's what I call him.
He looks like an actual coup, that one.
He's got a chant already.
Has he?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at all.
But yeah, he feels like a bit of a hensman, doesn't he? A big, strong centre half. So that's what I'm talking about.
I like the Traore one actually.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of him online, and he looks decent, rapid.
Yeah.
Good with both feet, can hit a ball.
Carry the ball as well on the pitch, I think, which will help. Yeah.
That looks like the blueprint, isn't it? Sort of get the ball to players and get it up the pitch quickly.
Yeah.
I love how you come in like Mark McAdam, just coming in. Look at
anyway, boys, I'll let you sign out.
Yeah, we'll sign out.
So, everyone, these boys deserve.
Yeah. Wait there. We'll just say goodbye.
Yeah. Wait there because we're going to sign off in a sec.
Yeah. Right. We got our friends in now, so. That was lovely, wasn't it? That was what a legend. What a legend.
It was really nice. Look, thank you for watching. We truly appreciate it. And what? What did you say?
You said you're going to stay on for another hour.
No, we're not going to stay on for another hour. Thank you so much for watching. We truly appreciate it. And to check out the channel tomorrow because there's going to be a vlog and much more besides. Tom, it's been a pleasure to have your company today, mate. You media mogul, you've been great.
No, it's been an enjoyable one, hasn't it? Again, so let's kick on from here, mate. This will be the turning point, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Come on.
Up the Cherries. We'll see you in the next one.
Cheers.
See you soon.
Bye.
Back in the day!